Why Am I Dead at Sea, a 16-bit indie adventure game developed and published by Peltast Software in 2015, puts a very interesting spin on the murder mystery genre that blows the quintessential body drop clear out of the water. You are the body! More to the point, you're the soul that has left the body that is presumably dead, and it's your sole mission, see what I did there, to figure out who done it. The gameplay is pretty straightforward. You play as Smilla, the spirit of the dead captain, and influence the thoughts and actions of the other people aboard the ship in order to uncover the gruesome truth behind your apparent murder. To accomplish this, you can possess the passengers and crew members and steer conversations and search for clues. Now, Why Am I Dead at Sea is actually a spiritual successor. I really should stop, but I won't. To the dev's original Flash game simply called Why Am I Dead? This is relevant because there are some major quality of life improvements to the possession mechanic. For starters, you can't just go hopping into anyone's body all willy-nilly, you silly Billy. No, you must unlock the ability to do so by learning vulnerable secrets about the rest of the cast of characters in order, initially, to gain limited control over them and eventually total control. You must have the characters interact with one another as well as the environment in order to accomplish this. Seems like a perfect recipe for fuck around and find out, don't it? On the contrary, to help guide you, you have a spiritually prescient kid named Paolo who has locked himself in his room and can only be interacted with when you are in spirit form. In fact, he is the one who helped you materialize in the realm of the living in the first place. So it's only fair that he also provides hints in order to steer you in the right direction. And I've got to say, these hints are really well written. As I often mention, it is difficult to get the balance right between downright confounding and patronizingly handholdy. For the most part, the devs do an excellent job of doling out cryptic hints that offer great satisfaction when you figure out just what you're supposed to do next and why. There were one or two moments where I had absolutely no clue, but I'd rather that than an in-game line just saying, "Hey stupid, go look in the thing and do the thing." And I doubt anyone could be perfect at this, but this team got damn near close to perfection in my opinion. To aid you further in figuring out what to do next, the devs also added a feature where each character has their own unique ability that is relevant to the story, as well as to their overall characterization. I will say though, some of these are more helpful than others, and you can get through the game without having to rely on some characters' abilities, which works against these abilities needing to be present in the first place. That being said, it's a really interesting feature that encourages further immersion in the world of the game. Along the way, the other characters also reveal information about the presumably dead captain, and as you learn more about who you're really playing as, her spirit starts to materialize more and her ability to interact with and impact the environment around the rest of the characters increases. Fucking brilliant. There are so many good things to say about this game. The writing is strong, there are some really nice twists in the plot that you may or may not see coming, but damn, will you still be thrilled to be on one hell of a ride. But the shining star of the writing would have to be the characterization. Each character has so much depth, which is a crowning achievement considering there are 11 characters if you include Smilla and Paolo. But oh my goodness, some of these characters and the shit they've been through had me absolutely weeping and fighting back the desire to Persona 4 my way through my computer screen to give them the biggest effing hug my spindly arms could muster. The amount of care and attention that went into crafting each character pays off immensely in making this an intriguing murder mystery. Every character has motivations for being on this ship, and none of them are willing to divulge everything, let alone be truthful, even when it's apparent that someone has murdered the captain. Another strong element of this game is the atmosphere. If there are any retro fans out there, just think Earthbound. Everything from the text boxes to the character designs to the meaty style soundtrack just screams retro. Heck, I'm sold. Finally, let's talk about quite possibly the best part of this game, the soundtrack. I'm a bit of a music nerd. Some might say snob, those people will be dealt with accordingly. But my god, this soundtrack is incredible. Bill Kiley does an amazing job of staying on brand with the retro vibes while still creating complex musical compositions that do a whole lot of heavy lifting. Each character has his or her own musical theme, and none of them are just a simple motif that gets repeated ad nauseum. We have actual instrumentation to bless our ear holes. For example, Marcurio's theme has voices singing in a very dramatic operatic style, which is actually a very relevant choice once you learn a little bit more about what makes that guy tick. And can I just gush about Donovan's theme? That is my new pump-up jam, and the pacing of when you actually have access to that theme is perfection itself. Without spoiling anything, Donovan becomes accessible at a very crucial moment in the game's plot, and having his theme play as you're figuring things out and piecing the mystery together was a brilliant choice on the devs' part. Why Am I Dead at Sea is currently $4.99 US on Steam. I don't say this often, maybe only once before. It deserves a higher price tag. The game itself takes several hours to complete, especially if, like me, you really immerse yourself into the mystery and settle in for the thrilling ride. On top of that, there are multiple endings. And like the overall presentation, the way the various elements, all so strong in their own rights, come together and crystallize so magnificently is so satisfying to me both as a retro video game fan and as a murder mystery fan. Seriously, how do I give you more money?